Hi, my name is Bryce Regal, and today I'm going to be talking about my research here at Point Loma Nazarene University. So the title of my research project is The Effects of In-Person Support During Online Learning. And so the area of focus for my research is around response to intervention programs during online learning. And so the significance of my study is that no study to date examines the effectiveness of an RTI framework using in-person support as a Tier 2 intervention for middle school students. And so this study will be useful to school administrators interested or working in online learning, and it will also be useful to educators working with students online as well. And so my two research questions are, what is the effect of in-person support as a Tier 2 intervention on academic achievement during online learning? And what is the effect of in-person support as a Tier 2 intervention on attendance during online learning? And so for my literature review, first I looked at research investigating the effectiveness of RTI programs, and there is a lot of research on it, but they show mixed results. And so for this reason, I think it's important that we study the effectiveness of RTI programs, especially new programs. And then I also looked at research into online learning, and the majority of it compares online learning to traditional in-person learning. But this study by Heppen et al. I'm highlighting because it was looking at the effectiveness of in-person, like traditional classroom learning compared to online learning, but the online group of students was in person with an in-person proctor. And while they weren't studying the effects of that in-person proctor on the online group, they did note that the in-person proctor did more for the students, even though they did not have to, and that the online teachers actually did less than was expected. And so this is the closest thing, the closest situation that aligns with the research that I'll be doing at the middle school. And so for my methodology, it's a mixed methods methodology. It's post hoc, quasi-experimental, and so I will be studying the effects of the intervention after it took place. And it's quasi-experimental because I will have a control group, so students that qualified for the intervention but did not participate for whatever reason. And then the intervention group was not chosen at random, and so thus it's quasi-experimental. And I will also be conducting interviews, so interviews with the administration to better understand the rationale for going forward with this intervention, as well as I'll be collecting field notes from the in-person proctor of the intervention. And so my subjects are 7th and 8th grade students at a middle school in South San Diego, and then also administrators for the qualitative aspect of the interviews. 71% of the students at the school qualify for free or reduced lunch, and 78% of students identify as Hispanic or Latino. And for my data collection, to look at academic achievement, I'll be collecting GPA at the end of the second semester, and also attendance data. And so for attendance, I'll be looking at truancies, and they will be collected from Infinite Campus and coded in Excel. And then for qualitative data, I'll be collecting conducting interviews using digital recorders, and I'll collect field notes as well. And so for my methodology, the control and intervention groups, they'll be compared by independent t-tests. Like I said, the control group will be students that qualified for the intervention, the in-person intervention, but did not participate. And the intervention group will be the students that came in person and were supported during online learning. And the recorded interviews, they will be transcribed, and both interviews and field notes will be analyzed for themes using Microsoft Word. And so ethical considerations, this is post hoc, so the intervention has already taken place, but there are still concerns for student privacy, that there their identifiable information is not leaked. And then also that student participation, so the participation to use students' data is voluntary. And so students' data is going to be coded in order to minimize the risk of loss of their information. And it will, the researcher, who is me, will be collecting assent forms from all the students that would like to participate in the data collection, as well as consent forms from their parents. And finally, limitations of the study. It is a small sample size. The number of students, 24 students, participated in the intervention, and then hoping to get another 24 for the control group. And also selection for the intervention group was not random. It was selected by the administrators. So yeah, this is my study. Thank you all for listening. I look forward to conducting it.